回来看其他方面的消息。近来，非洲国家津巴布韦的经济发展一直陷入困境。日前，当地民众组织了一场示威游行，人们走上街头，呼吁政府拿出新的方针政策和解决方法，改善民众的生活水平。而当地政府则表示，如果局势失控，可能会动用武力对抗。
Signs of the times in Zimbabwe. Rolling blackouts in the capital, Harare, are forcing lifestyle changes for businesses and ordinary Zimbabweans.
It is a very tough time indeed, because we're having to only operate during the night where there's availability of power.
Employees at Moses Chipurura's Plaster Centre now work at night to cope with the frequent power outages in the capital. The state-owned power company is struggling to stay afloat. A severe drought has reduced output at its largest hydro plant, and its aging coal-fired generators are no longer reliable. The result? Rolling blackouts lasting up to 18 hours a day, crippling businesses and making life difficult for residents. Companies like this one now begin work at about 10 p.m. when power is restored. Cynthia Chabuino is making similar adjustments.
I'm supposed to be sleeping and resting, but I have to wake up and do household chores like fetching water and ironing. It's unbearable.
People like Cynthia also have to contend with the shortage of water due to severe restrictions from the authorities, limiting access to clean tap water to once a week. Zimbabwe is reeling from a worsening economic crisis. In July, inflation doubled to 175%. The highest since the country's devastating economic collapse a decade ago. When he took over in an apparent military coup in 2017, President Emmerson Mnangagwa promised to fix the economy. His government has imposed austerity measures, but that's done little to help. Prices of food and fuel have soared, and long lines at petrol stations are common.
Things are going tougher every day. The fuel is going up, the prices are going up because the fuel is going up.
The country is crippled by massive debt incurred during the rule of Robert Mugabe and needs a multi-billion-dollar bailout. But despite some efforts to tackle the problem, President Mnangagwa's government has yet to win the confidence of the international community that could provide that bailout. Robin Kerno, CNN.
再来看娱乐方面的消息。当地时间16日，美国电影史上最著名的跑车007詹姆斯邦德的阿斯顿马丁 DB5 汽车，在美国的苏富比拍卖行以640万美元的价格被拍卖，创造了这一车型的拍卖价格新纪录。据介绍，这辆车本身并没有出现在任何007电影之中，但曾被应用于宣传推广1965年的007第4部电影《霹雳弹》。
Sleek, sophisticated, and fit for a spy. The Aston Martin DB5 is inextricably linked to James Bond.
So much of it was, cultural iconic status. It was really ahead of its time, and today the cars are really a throwback to that.
Seen as a classic today, the James Bond DB5 was the pinnacle of special effects ingenuity in its era.
Yeah, we do have a phone back to MI6 headquarters here.
So I can call M.
Exactly.
The car auctioned by R.M. Sotheby's is fully loaded, with all 13 gadgets seen in the movies.
Ejector seat, you're joking. I never joke about my work, 007.
From a .30 caliber gun in each fender to tire slashers and even a smoke machine.
Everything's housed in here, as is the bulletproof shield.
Sold by an anonymous owner, it is one of 3 surviving models of its kind.
The restoration around the car really involved making everything functional again. So the rotating license plate motor servos to the GPS flashing in the dashboard, everything about the car fully works.
Used for promotion, this DB5 never actually appeared on film, but Sotheby's says that doesn't make it less of a game changer.
DB5 was really the first, broadly speaking, commercial mass-produced car for Aston, and it was a tremendous success.
The car is ready to go home with a lucky buyer, helping them turn their deepest spy fantasies into reality.
Fully road legal, fully compliant, anywhere in the world.
As long as the new 007 doesn't run afoul of the real-world authorities.
I guess just please don't use the nail spreader or the oil sling.
Peter Valdez-De Pena, CNN, New York.
迪士尼公司不断打破着票房纪录，截至8月16日，动画片《玩具总动员4》全球票房突破10亿美元，成为今年第5部票房突破10亿美元大关的迪士尼电影，成为目前电影历史上票房第8高的动画电影。
Woody, why am I alive? You are a toy. You belong to Bonnie. These are your friends.
Disney has gone where no studio has gone before. Toy Story 4 has topped $1 billion at the worldwide box office, the 5th Disney film to do so this year. The others, in reverse chronological order, The Lion King, Aladdin, Avengers Endgame, and Captain Marvel.
Maybe people just would prefer to see me kissing boys.
Gabrielle Union is heading back to the big screen. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the actress will star in and produce a romantic comedy about an African-American woman who starts dating an Asian-American man. No word yet on who'll star opposite Union in the interracial rom-com. A posthumous honor for Stan Lee. The Marvel legend who died last year is set to be inducted into the Visual Effects Society's Hall of Fame. He previously received the group's Lifetime Achievement Award. Walt Disney and Stanley Kubrick will also be inducted posthumously at a special reception in October. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
本周末有5部新片登陆大荧幕，冲击周末票房冠军的宝座。然而，这5部影片的类型和题材都相对小众。票房专家估计，《速度与激情》的番外电影《特别行动》可能依然会保持住票房第1的位置。
You guys hear that? Like a We're gonna need a bigger slingshot.
The Angry Birds Movie 2 looked for a boost by opening on Tuesday. The animated sequel could earn up to $20 million in its first 6 days. For the weekend, it'll compete with Good Boys, an R-rated comedy about pre-teens, which is looking at $12 to $15 million, and the Shark Attack sequel, 47 Meters Down, Uncaged, which is projected to make $11 to $14 million.
I am going to take you to a place that no tourist would ever find in a million years.
4 teenage girls dive down to discover the sunken ruins of an underwater city in 47 Meters Down, Uncaged.
We learned a whole new skill set. We'd never scuba dived before. We all became scuba certified. And we shot a movie that's 80% underwater while acting. And it was very challenging.
We filmed the film in these big tanks in London, and so they built these caves and tunnels, and there was all these like Mayan statues, and so every day we'd come to set and we'd really be like exploring this new world. And so a lot of what you see in the movie is really us just going around this new set today and just pointing our flashlight at things.
You guys ready for this? Oh, this place is insane.
Much to their surprise, they are not the only ones there.
And I think the difference between this film and other shark movies is you always see the shark coming up to the surface and grabbing people down, whereas like we're down there with them, we're kind of invading their territory.
Sistine Rose Stallone makes her acting debut in the movie. Her father, Sylvester Stallone, gave her this advice.
My dad just reminded me to work really hard, and that, you know, I worked hard to get this part, so just, you know, stay genuine to who you are, respect everyone, and give it all you've got every day.
Guys, there's a shark!
Something unexpected has come up. There's much more explanation coming, but I have this one shot.
Further down the chart, Cate Blanchett stars in Where'd You Go, Bernadette, which analysts expect to debut with $5 million. And the weekend's best-reviewed new movie, Blinded by the Light, a coming-of-age drama featuring the music of Bruce Springsteen, figures to make $4 million in this crowded cinematic weekend.
First day, start at the top and stay there. Stay away from the girls! I want to be a writer, but my family is stuck in another century.
Blinded by the Light stars Vivek Kalra as Javed, a British Pakistani teen in the 1980s who finds his voice when a friend gives him the music of Bruce Springsteen.
Guard these with your life, yeah? You can thank me later.
Reluctant at first, Javed quickly becomes obsessed with the boss. His journey is based on the memoir by Safraz Manzoor.
I can feel it all right here. It's like Bruce knows everything I've ever felt, everything I've ever wanted.
Somebody who is so far from New Jersey, from a different generation, from a different nationality, from a different religious background, from a different skin color, gets the music of Bruce Springsteen, and it absolutely speaks to him.
Director Gorinda Chadha sought and received Bruce's blessing to use his music.
I had an incredible responsibility now, because here was a man who I revered, who was giving me his life's work, basically. And I had to sort of now picturize this in a way that not only appealed to Bruce fans, but non-Bruce fans, but also was relevant to the story that I was telling.
Bruce sings about not letting the hardness of the world stop you from letting the best of you slip away. My hope is to build a bridge to my ambitions, but not a wall between my family and me.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
以上就是今天的汉天新闻，我是施方圆，感谢您的收看，我们下次再见。